Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm Kimani Saint-Jean. Coming up, new law year for 2015 begins today, September 17th. Lime's Creole in the Park officially cancelled, and we take a look at infrastructural investments for the last financial year. Details of our headline stories and more after this. Thanks for staying with us. Today, September 17th, 2015, marked the official start of a new law year. The year officially opened with a church service at the Trinity Baptist Church. Dozens of Dominica's legal practitioners were in attendance. His Lordship Bishop of the Diocese of Roseau, Gabriel Malzer, and the Superintendent of the Methodist Church, Reverend Dr. Novel Josiah, also attended the service. Officiating Minister Pastor Randy Rodney encouraged attorneys to know and walk in their purpose.
Because your purpose will inform your mission. Your purpose will inform your action. Your purpose will inform your midterm, short-term, and long-term goals. Your purpose will inform what you are here about. And I submit to you, as legal practitioners, from a scriptural standpoint, you are here from what Jesus is saying to establish contact, to establish order with society.
Following the service, a parade was held on the bayfront in front of the High Court building. The official proceedings continued with an address from Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, Dame Madam Janice M. Pereira, via video conferencing from Grenada. GIS will bring you more on this in tomorrow's newscast. Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Petit Savan constituency, Dr. Kenneth Daru, has appealed to members of the public to be sensitive to the plight of those displaced as a result of Tropical Storm Erica. In an exclusive interview at GIS Studios on Thursday, the Petit Savan MP revealed that some of the evacuees housed at the Dominica Grammar School have been subjected to insensitive remarks from some members of the public.
I also want to take this opportunity to really appeal to the few insensitive people, okay, who keep passing something.
And I think it's important that you say that.
Yes, I mentioned it on the Creole program with Experience Creole, that I think it's very insensitive for people to be passerbys, to be telling them, please get out of their school, they're trying to get to school. I mean, today it's Petit Savan, tomorrow it could be theirs.
But it was only a year ago when it was the new tongue Lubia people.
Exactly. And I think the people of Petit Savan are not there. They did not commit any crime. Exactly. That's what I mean. They did not commit any crime. They're not there for punishment. All of these people would have left their comfortable homes in Petit Savan, and they're not there by choice, okay, but by an unfortunate
under siege, duress. It was not
act of nature. So I really want to appeal to the few insensitive people out there, that there's a God above, and please have a heart, which is why we're making every effort, as you said, going forward right now because we recognize that the grammar school has to be reopened at some point.
Sure.
So what we've done as a government so far is we've identified a few places around town that will house all of the people who are at the school, at the grammar school, to get them out where they also will have maybe by families, house them, they'll have certain degree of privacy, independence. Right. In addition, the people who are living with relatives, so maybe the first few days the relatives wouldn't have mind to house them. Right now, of course, things are becoming a bit cramped up, so we also identifying also private homes around town where they might be heading up and to see how the government can assist at any in any case. A lot of people have offered the homes free of charge. Some of them maybe just have a few renovations. I'm sure that I've already gotten the commitment. The government can underwrite some of these little renovations, setting up, preparing them for. So the hope is that the plan is that slowly but surely that we phase out the people from the shelters. So this 4 to 6 month period, maybe until rebuilding or relocation can happen, that they be as comfortable as possible.
Following tonight's news, we will bring you the exclusive interview with Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru, as well as Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Grand Bay constituency, Justina Charles. Lime Dominica has officially announced the cancellation of this year's Creole in the Park event. Following the passing of Tropical Storm Erica, not only was the country's people, landscape and infrastructure affected, but the island's telecommunications as well. At a press briefing on Wednesday, 16th September 2015, General Manager of Lime Dominica, Jeffrey Baptist, says the ravaging impact makes it impossible to continue business as usual.
This year, the dynamics have shifted dramatically, not marginally, but you've been around the island as media people, and I really do not need to convince you that we are at a different place with respect to the whole question of our development as a country. You've seen the significant devastation that has been caused as a result of Tropical Storm Erica, and so really it's not business as usual. And so while we started our considerations for Creole in the Park about a month and a half ago, once Erica had exited our shores, the picture was completely shifted and our priorities had to be realigned. We cannot undervalue the need for us to be at work, not some of the days, but every single day leading up to the full recovery of this country. When I say at work focused on our core business, that being telecommunications. And so we just, this year, will not have, as I put it, the bandwidth to focus on the planning and the implementation of Creole in the Park.
Baptist noted the damage to the company's network infrastructure.
We had a number of cuts in our fiber, on our underground fiber optic transmission network. All the bridges that would have been dislodged and destroyed, in some we would have had a direct impact on Lime, given the fact that our fiber optic cables would have gone across these rivers and these areas through the bridges. So the Old West Bridge, you've seen very clearly some of the disruption there. And the Point Round, Kulibistri, Makushri, Layu, Roseau, Marigot, Grand Bay to Delices, we have all suffered significant impact. When I say we, mean in Lime, we've suffered significant impact in terms of our transmission at these locations. And so while we have successfully returned most of the country to service, in a lot of ways it really has been quick fixes to just simply get service back up. It hasn't really been the end of the road in terms of the reconstruction and the recovery effort. And so we will be required over the next couple of weeks to commit significant resources to rebuild some very, very important sections of our network infrastructure.
The general manager says before Tropical Storm Erica, all engines will go for the staging of the 13th annual Creole in the Park edition. He says while it is not part of the company's core function, it's something that it has committed to as contribution to Dominica's culture. He gave his company's commitment to partner with stakeholders in upcoming weeks to host benefit activities for the island. In more news, many people do not see themselves needing mental health services after a disaster. However, taking care of the emotional well-being of victims of a traumatic situation is essential to moving forward. This is why the psychiatric unit of the Princess Margaret Hospital, led by Dr. Griffith Benjamin, through the Ministry of Health, has been visiting communities across the island, tending to those who were affected by Tropical Storm Erica. GIS News spoke with Dr. Griffith Benjamin in an exclusive interview on Wednesday. He says the mission has been focused on targeting groups instead of individuals.
Within a week of the disaster, the Ministry of Health mobilized its mental health unit, the community mental health team, and we decided strategically to focus on groups, not on individuals per se, but on groups, on families, on shelters, on a rescue organization like the fire and the police, on the district teams, health teams, and on the National Emergency Operations Centers, where we could meet people, help them to debrief, help them to talk about what happened, and re-energize them. Some of them we would ask them to take a break, but re-energize them, make them feel better, make them feel that they're on a mission. And our strategy is to have community meetings, and we have done some of that. Strategy is to do debriefing, we have been doing that. Our strategy is to provide family interventions that help the whole family rather than an individual family to move forward.
The group also targeted those involved in search and rescue and those assisting survivors. Just 3 weeks post-Erica, Dr. Benjamin explained that it is time for the island to begin experiencing a sense of normalcy. He says everyone has been affected to a certain degree. While some communities were able to bounce back quickly, others are taking more time to stabilize.
But to go to an area like Coliho, where the community mobilized itself into cleaning up the houses and removing the debris and the mud, that community is well advanced in its recovery stage. Of course, Kulabistri, on the other hand, another area we visited, seems still helpless, and whereas a lot of attention was placed in moving the people, evacuating people from Petit Savan, Kulabistri sat in a state of shock for weeks. And now at the end of the 3rd week, we still believe that there's a lot of mobilizing that has to be done for the people of Kulabistri to recover.
An 8-member team from the Massey Foundation in Trinidad has also joined in the efforts to help bring back a sense of normalcy. Initial reaction to the tropical storm Erica varied from shock to helplessness, disbelief and confusion, affecting people's ability to work. GIS also spoke to head of the team from the Massey Foundation, Wendell De Leon, who says that several people are still in a state of denial and many still have to grapple with having lost what they have worked hard to achieve for years. De Leon explained some of the long-term and short-term negative impacts if traumatized persons are not reached.
We might want to think that the worst has been over, but the worst is not yet over because we still deal with the level of hypervigilance. Every time we rainfall, people go back into that place of being re-traumatized. We're expecting another Erica, and what does that do for not just an individual, but an entire community can become traumatized. And we see some people are being displaced, so we're dealing with displacement. How do I get back to what is a new norm? What is normal at this point? Inhibitions that I would have had before, I am now going to throw it away because I didn't get to live life, and now look at, I almost lost my life. So you know what? I'm going to drink as a form of coping. So I can become addicted to alcohol because I'm trying to numb my pain because of the loss. I've lost family members, I've lost loved ones, I've lost material stuff. So drinking is of high potential. Use of drugs or alcohol, any one of those things can increase. Sexual impropriety or promiscuous behaviors can come out of it. And if we put people in cramped spaces together, there's a possibility that we can see those behaviors being engaged in an unhealthy way that can lead to other kind of things.
He says their objective is to prevent impacts like this, letting people know that they can move on and rebuild.
I'm saying to people, not because you are in a shelter, you are placed there temporarily, you still have all your values and principles and everything, you need to stand up for them. People feel, sometimes you hear them express anger towards everything, anger towards family members who seem okay and I am not okay. So you know what, their life back to normal. And one of my colleagues, I think he picked it up very early, is that there seem to be two Dominica, one that's okay and one that is not okay. And some people are ready to get back to a sense of normalcy, but it's difficult when you have other people trailing far behind and they are not there yet. So that's the help they need to bring them back to that place mentally, to be able to refocus, and that we can create that sense of community spirit as one Dominica moving forward.
The team from the Massey Foundation left the island on Wednesday, September 16th. You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. It's a known fact that this government has placed a lot of emphasis on infrastructural development. The main reason for this is its understanding that inadequate road conditions reduces the contribution of the economy's productive sectors. In 2007, a road survey identified that 25% of main roads were in good condition and 76% of feeder roads were in bad condition. Targets were then set to bring at least 60% 60% of main roads to good condition and at least 30% of feeder roads to fair condition by 2015. As of June 2015, the target for main roads was met and surpassed by 5.3%. More than 367 million EC dollars was expended to realize this objective. Between 2008 and 2015, 21 road projects were undertaken. These include roads in Tatan, Fonseja, Roseau, Loubier, Roseau Valley, Scottshead, Grand Bay, Tukari, and the Eo-Libla Highway or West Coast Road. Between 2014 and 2015, other priority projects took off as well at an estimated sum of 136.9 million EC dollars, of which close to 20 million has been spent so far. Of those 18 projects, only half was 100% complete before Tropical Storm Erica. The Roseau to Melville Hall Road and Champagne Road were among them. In that period, the West Coast Road was restored following damage from Tropical Storm Ophelia, and 1.4 million was spent to come back from the December 2013's Christmas Eve trough. For the 2014-2015 financial year, 20 projects were singled out for special attention and all were completed. Those projects were scattered across the island, from Deathsport to Castle Bruce, to Mount Bruce, to Greens Lane, to Beosh, to Canefield, a bill totaling just over $250,000. Having met and surpassed its targets in 2015, government's next goal was to bring to good condition 100% of main roads, secondary roads, feeder roads, and urban roads. Several projects planned for this financial year currently wait their turn while the island struggles to come to terms with the sheer loss which it has experienced. According to the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Roosevelt Skerritt, Dominica's development has been set back 20 years. Now government is concentrating efforts and resources on creating at least minimal access between communities. Nevertheless, with strong leadership, faithful development partners, and the renowned resilience of the Dominican people, this island will again enjoy the standards to which this government has made it accustomed. President of the Dominica State College, Dr. Donald Peters, is stating that the importance of the reopening of the DSC in a timely manner cannot be taken lightly. In an interview with DSC President on Wednesday, he notes that in order to ensure that the necessary credits are achieved, students must be attending classes.
In the international community of universities and colleges, a 3-hour credit is for 15 weeks, 3 hours a week. So you cannot do 14, you cannot do 13. Because when your transcript go overseas, people notice that. So we have to make up the time. Whatever time we lose, we have to make it up. Students must do 15 weeks of instructions, 3 hours a week, in order to get a 3-credit course. And but we are optimistic we can make up the time, maybe for Carnival, bring them in Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. No, we won't do that. But we have done that before. That 1 week we can handle. But if it was 3 weeks, we'd be into serious problems.
The DSC president had this advice for freshmen.
The freshmen started under duress. It has a very tough time for them because they have 2 things going on. They have to adjust to college. This is not high school. And they're not teachers to go to or principal. They're on their own. So we are very sensitive to that, and we will encourage them. And I'd like to tell them to just ask questions. Don't pretend they're so cool that they know what to do. And they will be okay.
Currently, there are 667 freshmen and 1,601 returning students enrolled at the DSC. Meantime, Dr. Peters noted that the efforts of students in response to the devastation caused by Tropical Storm Erica must be commended.
I would like to just congratulate the students who were very enthusiastic to come to school, and I also like to commend our students who reach out to their fellow students. We've taken boxes, care packages to Pay Boost, Grand Bay, Petite Savannah area, all the areas that were affected. Some of the people couldn't come, they sent people to pick up the packages. And our colleagues across the region, the state colleges, Antigua State College, Tortola, BVI, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia have all called, and we'll be sending packages to our students.
He remarked that assistance is also to be provided to staff who have been affected.
We had some staff who lost their homes and property, and so we are working with them. That's what the second committee is doing, and hopefully we can get them some help.
And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole, non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, compagnie avion Liat qui a fait parole qui a commencé voile en basse avion Douglas Charles vendredi. Tout voile de suspend mois passé, sinon coulter Erika. Chef officier Liat David Evans, complimenté gouvernement et puis Pep Dominique, manier de travail pour mener Dominique Widow bout après Erika. Compagnie là avisé public là à si manifeste, qu'a concerné voile aller retour Dominique. D'aspa qu'a aussi fait parole qui voile la nuit suspend, juste plein information après. Passager qui a voyagé à bord avion là, qu'a servi basse avion salam, supposé arriver 3 temps pour ça mettre toute mesure, affaires sécurité et bagaille comme ça en place avant avion là voyager. À la nouvelle communauté qui savant taper mauvais blast hot coulter Erika, membre parlement honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow parler contre situation là.
Quand ça va petit savant c'est un village là qui était pré-affecté pour taper Costa America. Et le gouvernement a pris une décision pour abandonner, on veut dire, évacuer tout le monde de place là parce que nous réalisons que la place là pas siwe pour mon amouette. Et de trois de nous qui ont opportunité à chance là pour être savant esprit pour hélicoptère pour hier. Il n'y a pas besoin de pièces exprès pièces pour dire que place la passée parce que local capan pour la falma et nous avons que peut-être n'importe qui qui tombe encore qui savana oui pour en faire encore. Nous savons que toute communauté a évacué. Il y a des trois personnes qui décident pour sécuriser place là. Il y a des qui d'accord de pas sortir mais majorité monde déjà évacué. Ça nous a fait c'est mon qui a ces shelters là actuellement à grammar school. Nous avons parlé avec des trois mon around Roseau around ville là pour comment nous ça tirer hors grammar school mettre dans place qui plus private qui plus confortable.
Honorable Darrow fait parole qui mettait un comité en place qui a une responsabilité pour y bâtir la communauté là.
Comparé reply même parlement pour des savants ça nous a fait c'est et pas seulement anti savant mais bagatelle aussi nous mettait ça nous a créé comité en place pour faire ces monde pour responsable avec pour charge avec c'est tout ça qui avec toutes les affaires qui ni pour faire relief pour vivre rebuild community et moi voulais remercier comité puis savant research committee ça c'est officiel non yo qui actuellement yo capable de opportunité pour privé parce que yo pense charge avec tout bitin qui ne peut faire relief avec tout bitin c'est ça nous qu'à faire mon cas joindre avec ces monde régulier à toutes ces shelters là mon est savant grammar school mon est des 7 monde il y en a Dubic en community center Guambe et l'autre 7 monde savant dans youth center Guambe so mon cas joindre avec yo comme op car je suis intimidé avec eux pour updater avec information qui gouvernement ni.
Alors nouvelle travail pour place bien formidable pour restauration électricité en basse avion Douglas Charles, ça fait où la courte Erika bien dommagé facilité ça électricité en l'occasion ça là t'es bien affecté. Si le chef d'ASP Benoît Badwell, il a appelé assistance officier Grenade qui assistait bien formidable. Il est l'occasion Air Traffic Control électricité, l'office météo, l'office ECA et puis la douane aussi. Équipement air condition et puis yon de la porte qui était dommagé réparé. M. Badwell aussi fait parole qui département immigration aussi taper attention pour que ça fonctionne. Là il aussi travaille pour restauration service téléphone et puis internet. M. Badwell dit qu'il travaille mettre clé en toute l'occasion facilité basse avion là. Il aussi travaille mettre facilité de l'eau en basse avion là. Et puis finalement, Dominique a continué à recevoir assistance pour bâtir pays pour Erika. Il y a avion hors Venezuela, chay matériaux pour bâtir maison Petrocasa. Ces matériaux sont là, ni capacité pour bâtir 300 maisons. Quand même si l'homme manager de division Kai Hilarion Jules, ces matériaux sont là déjà servi pour bâtir Kai en Dominique. M. Jules dit Dominique bien plaisir que le gouvernement Venezuela a fait contribution Kai pour la Dominique. Ambassadeur Venezuela pour Dominique, His Excellency Hayden Pirella, te ambassadeur avion Douglas Charles, où là ces matériaux là débatché. Ambassadeur Pirella aussi fait parole satisfaction que Venezuela a venu devant assister Dominique en tant trois cas là. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en Creole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow us on Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Kimani. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.